You have to think like first day. Hi.
What are you doing?
I am doing a YouTube video. What's up everybody, it's Karl, aka Karl Drum Tech. I'm here right now in Madrid, Spain, and today I'd like to talk about how much further you have to go in your drumming journey. Cue the music. All right, if you guys are finding me for the first time, make sure you hit that subscribe button, the red button down below that says subscribe. That way you're notified anytime I put out a new video in regards to marching arts, marching bands, drum lines, percussion, drum corps, all that good stuff. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single upload. Now also make sure to hit that notification bell as well. That way for sure you'll be notified every time I make a video. So subscribe, make sure you hit that bell icon, and let's get to the video. Okay, so let's talk about how much further you have to go in your drumming journey. And let me just say, it's a lot. It's a lot further than you think. I was working with a student, and he's starting out. And when you're first starting out, especially with like in terms of like beginning and foundational stuff, or if you have very little experience with drumming, you have a long way to go. Okay, like you have a lot to learn. There's a lot still to do, and it could be years before you get to somewhere where you are marching somewhere like a high school drum line or a college group or a drum corps, especially if you're just starting out. Like let's say you are like in 3rd grade, 4th grade learning drums for the first time, or even just in high school, right? Sure. If you have no experience, a lot of times some programs will take you with no experience and you'll start marching, in marching band right away. But it'll be a few years before, like let's say you're thinking about, getting to a college level group or a drum corps. It's going to take you several years before you get to that point. So it's a long way to go. It's not going to be a thing where you pick up the sticks and then all of a sudden, hey, tomorrow I can play drums and I can march wherever I want. It doesn't work like that. All right. So I understand that something like that can be very discouraging and very oh my gosh, I have so much further to go. So my suggestion is that, to make that journey easier so you don't put that burden on yourself thinking like, gosh, man, like there's this big distance I have to travel. You have to focus on how much further you've come along. So meaning, right, obviously, let me rephrase that. So you need to focus more on where you've come from versus where you need to go. Does that make sense, right? Now, obviously, when you first learn how to play drums, you wouldn't have gone very far, okay? So the first few days in your journey, you're like, okay, first few days, you look back, okay, it's only been 3-4 days, not a lot of history back there, right? So even in that situation, you have to think first day, you learn how to do something, and on the second day, now you know something and can do something. I just want to make sure I'm not in the way here. You know something and you can do something that you couldn't do yesterday, okay? Now, as long as you keep learning, as long as you keep picking up new skills, you're always going to be better and more knowledgeable than you were the day before, and much more than when you first started. Now, imagine that. You see where I'm getting at, right? You see that accumulate over days, over weeks, over months, over years. Then you can look back and go, wow, I've come a long way. I've come, I've learned a lot, right? I have all these skills I've never had before. Versus, right, I've stopped mentioning about how much further you have to go, right? Yeah, you're still not in, the college group you want to be in. You're still not in the drum corps you want to be in, but look at how much further you've come, okay? Now, I understand that it can be very frustrating, right, still to not be able to do certain things, right? You're gonna run across many situations where you can't do something and it takes you a long time to learn it. For example, for me, it was flam drags. I couldn't do flam drags for the longest time. It took me a year or two when I had a friend who learned it in a day, it seems like, and he was playing flam drags in a week, and I couldn't do it after a year or two. You understand how frustrating that is. And now, flam drags is one of my favorite rudiments, and one of the best rudiments I can do. But that's besides the point. The point is, you can focus on the things you can't do, or you can focus on the things that you can do that you couldn't do before. That's much better for your mindset versus look at all these things I can't do. Look at all these frustrations I have with, the struggles I have, being on the struggle bus. Hi.
What are you doing?
I am doing a YouTube video.
YouTube video.
Yeah.
Madrid.
Just doing it in Madrid.
Okay.
Yeah.
About what?
Sorry?
About what?
It's about drumming. Like drumming? Yeah.
Yes.
But I talk more a lot about like mindsets and like,
Okay.
yeah.
What's your name in YouTube?
Karl Drum Tech.
For drum.
Karl with a K.
Okay.
Yeah,
thank you.
can I show you? Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for asking. Are you from
Yes, I'm from Madrid.
Oh, nice. That's so cool. Yeah, this is
But my ethnics are from Morocco.
Morocco.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. You always live here or you
Yes,
came?
we live here.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm here with my family. I'm visiting.
With your family.
Yeah. This is my channel.
I'm going to take a photo.
Oh yeah, please. What is your name?
Hiwa.
Hiwa?
Yes.
Karl.
Hiwa.
Nice to meet you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we're visiting because this is one of my last places my dad visited, and he passed away back in May. So we're visiting a lot of places that he liked and stuff.
He recommended you.
I guess so.
Madrid,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Nice to meet you. Thank you so much.
You too.
It's always cool to meet people like that when you're doing videos, and you never know what can happen. So I'm glad that was on video. It's good to be out here in the world and meet people and experience life, experience the world. So anyways, right, so try not to think about so much about how much further you have to go, because it can be frustrating to not be able to do things that you want to be able to do. At some point you will be able to do it, especially if you apply yourself, you work hard, you practice, you do the right things, you're gonna be able to do it eventually. Trust me on that. You may not be able to do it today, you may not be able to do it tomorrow, but you'll be able to do it someday, okay? Now, here's a harsh reality check for you, okay? No matter what skill you pick up, no matter what thing you're trying to do, guess what? There's always gonna be something that you can't do. There's always gonna be some frustration, because like, it's always gonna be that way, right? Like, it doesn't matter like how good you get, there's always a skill that you can't do. If you're trying to compare yourself to other people, there's always gonna be people better than you, all right? And even if you get to the top level and say like, all right, I'm one of the best drummers in the world. Are you the best drummer in the world? Because you can think that, you can think like, damn, I'm not the best drummer in the world. And then you try to get there and then you never get there. That could be really frustrating. And then let's say for some miracle, right, you're the 0.0009% of the entire drumming community who gets to be the best player in the whole world, okay? You can go off on some tangent and be like, oh man, I'm not like Michael Jordan, and I'm not like Michael Jordan rich. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can kind of think that, like you have all these things that, that there's somebody else better than you. I'm not the president. I'm not, like the richest person in the world. I'm not, the most accomplished person. I'm not the most famous. There's all these layers that you can add on top of it. So no matter what, right, there's always something you can't do. There's always something that, there's always somebody better than you, more higher up than you, quote unquote, right? So you can put yourself in that kind of hell, right, where you torture yourself over the fact that there's so much further you have to go, or you can be happy with where you are now, which is better and more advanced and more knowledgeable and more experienced than you were yesterday. So always appreciate growth. Always appreciate, look back. Look back on how far you've come. Be proud of that. Let that keep driving you forward. Don't focus on what you can't do. Focus on what you can do now that you couldn't do before. That is what's going to propel you to keep getting better and better and better and better. And by the end of your life, or whatever you say that you're done with the journey, with drumming or any other skill you pick up, hopefully you can be happy and satisfied with all that you've accomplished. And maybe it makes you a better person, makes you a better human being in the pursuit of getting better at something. All right, cool. So thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate you watching this far, if you have been watching. Yeah, so it's nice to be out here in the world creating content. To say that I was here And if you remember from my conversation, I'm here with my family to honor this trip, to honor my father on this trip, to visit the places that he's been at and he enjoyed. So I'm really happy to be here right now and to document this journey that I'm on, this journey of life. And gosh, it's been quite interesting. So, all right, thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, if you've been watching this far, if you have not subscribed yet, after I told you to subscribe, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you have any questions or comments, would like to add to this conversation, you want to talk about your frustrations about things that you can't do. Is there something that is troubling you? That is something that is giving you difficulty right now with drumming? You can ask those questions too. Like hey, like how do you get better with flam drags? You can ask me all about that because like I said, I struggle with that a lot. So if you have any questions at all, leave in the comments below. All right, or if you'd like to add to this conversation, I'd like to welcome that as well. And if you have not subscribed yet, did I say that already? I don't remember already. All right. Hit that like button if you guys really enjoyed this video. I would really appreciate that if you did. And share this video with a friend, somebody who is maybe struggling with their drumming journey. They're frustrated. They don't know how they're going to get to where they need to go. Show them this video. And I really think it starts with having a better mindset about the things that you can accomplish now that you couldn't do before. That's really the mindset you need to have in order to get better and get to where you need to go, where you want to go. All right, cool. Thank you again for watching this video. I'll catch you guys next time, and peace. Be safe, be happy, and Karl Drum Tech out. Woo!